So let's look at another problem. Here we're given a large cap stock, and we are told that the average return over 3 years was 14.4%. So our mu is 14.4%. And we're also told that the standard deviation was 4.4, and that these returns are normally distributed. So we'll apply the normal distribution, and then we can standardize it as well. Part A says, what is the probability that our 3-year return is at least 20%? So in part A, to find the probability that our x is more than or equal to 20, which is the same as 1 minus probability that our x is less than or equal to 20. Now what we can do is we can find the z value or the z-score of x equals 20, and then we can apply that in that formula, which is, so at x equals 20, let's see what our z value is. Our z value is 20 minus mu divided by standard deviation, which is 20 minus 14.4 divided by 4.4, and this is equal to 1.27. So 1.27. So our problem then translates to essentially finding 1 minus probability that z value is less than or equal to 1.27. We can either find the probability of this and then do 1 minus, or we can directly use the jump calculator to find the probability on the right tail. So looking at the jump calculator, so we are looking at the standard normal, and we can find the probability that our z is less than 1.25. So 1.27 into 1.27. So we get 1 minus 0.8980, which is 0.120. We could have also done it in a more direct way, where we could have said probability that our x is more than 1.27, so we get the right tail test, 0.1020. So if we find the probability on the left tail, then we take 1 minus that, or if we look at the probability on the right tail, then we can get the answer directly. So now let's look at part B. Part B asks us, what is the probability that the return is 10% or less? So if to find the probability that our return is less than 10%, again, we'll find the z value at x equals 10. So at x equals 10, we get our z is 10 minus 14.4 divided by 4.4. Now, which is minus 4.4 divided by 4.4, which is negative 1. So we have to find the probability that our z is less than negative 1. We can again look at the jump calculator. So this time we're looking at the left tail, and our value that we are considering is negative 1. And we get 0.1587. So our probability that our return is less than 10% is 0.1587. Now let's look at the third question. The third question says, how big does the return have to be to put it at the top 10% of all the stocks? So we're looking at the right tail area being 10% or 0.1. So in the previous two questions, we were given the x value, we got the z value, and we found the probabilities. In part C, we are given that the probability of basically x more than what value is 0.1. So we have to be in the top 10% of the returns. So we can look at it in JMP directly. So this time it will use the second option. We are given the probability, we're going to find the value. So we'll click on this, and we need to find the right tail probability. We want to look at the top 10% of the stocks. So I'm going to click on right tail, and here the probability that we're interested in is 0.1. So we get that our Z value, or the Z score, has to be 1.2816. So if this is the Z score, we can now recover the X value from this. We know that our Z is X minus mu divided by standard deviation. So our X is standard deviation times the Z score plus mu. So it is 4.4 times 1.2816 plus 14.4, and putting it in the calculator, we will get that this value is equal to 20.03. So if we get our X equals 20.03, anything more than that, or return of 20.03 will put the stock in the top 10% of all returns. So given this, whether we are given the Z values, we can find the probability, or if we're given the probability, we can now calculate the corresponding Z values, and then from there we can recover our X